Political analyst Dallas Jones joins us this morning to talk more about this poll and a contentious race. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Well, we just saw the numbers, so we know that Turner Garcia certainly have name recognition. Do you think that that's helping them right now?
Absolutely. I think what we saw in the last there was a poll issued back in June. They were statistically tied then after pieces of what will be probably Houston's most expensive mayor's race. They have still remained at a statistical tie. What has happened is that folks that were at the bottom have now emerged a little bit more and kind of find themselves in a place of being tied, that being Steve Costello, Bill King, and Chris Bell. So
let's talk about the equal rights ordinance and how you feel like this is going to play a role, because we just heard from Ben Hall. He's the only one that I've heard speaking out about it.
That's right.
Do you feel like people are going to be watching that? Does that have anything to do with this mayoral race?
Well, I think folks are definitely watching the equal rights ordinance. What's interesting is that the poll also covered that issue in terms of its electability, and it has a 15-point favorability rating amongst those polled. So it's 15 points ahead, and so it's an issue, but both of the front runners have come out in support of that issue. So whether or not it's going to be a deciding issue, that's yet to be seen.
Now let's just talk about how we're looking in the numbers right now, and I know it's still a little bit early to tell, but just looking at the polls right now, do you feel like there's any way that we get a front runner, or do you feel like we're definitely in for a runoff?
Well, there are certainly some questions about the poll that have been raised that I agree with. I think that African Americans were probably underrepresented in the poll by about 10%. I think there was also a very small sampling of the Hispanic community, both of which are going to have an uptick because you have an African American and Hispanic leading the race. How much of an impact that will have will help us to determine if someone's going to pull away from the pack. But I wouldn't be surprised come November 3rd that we see Adrian Garcia and State Representative Sylvester Turner run into the runoff to be our next mayor.
I can't tell you how many times I go out in the community and I hear people talking about this, and they're saying, and a lot of people are on the fence. Do you have any suggestions for people if they really can't figure out who they want, how they can make that decision? Because I think it's important for everybody to have a vote, and it seems like I've heard a lot of people say, I'm not going to vote because I don't know what to do. I don't know which way to go.
Right. Even in the poll, the largest winner was undecided at 25%. And so what I would tell people is to really look at what's important to you and your family. Decide what those values are that you want for our city, and then do some research. Go and look at who all of the mayoral candidates are, find out who's on the ballot, and find out who shares those same values that will help to move your family, my family, and the rest of our city forward.
Yeah, and remember, your vote counts. Take it seriously.
Absolutely.
All right, political analyst Dallas Jones, good to see you as always.
Absolutely.
Thanks for your time this morning.
Good to be here.